teachers. We had 49 people participate. 43 would like the language, original language reinstated that requires new membership. 4 said they were not concerned. And I would remind you also that during the discussion, Mr. Lindsay said he was okay with that language change as well. So it seems like there are plenty of people who seem to be okay with that. I'm here because I tried to do a little research. One of my concerns was the compressed timeline where we had to rush. So I tried to do a little bit of research and go to the county and talk with various people there. And because we've been told that our authorization was through July 2015, and so in reality there was not this big rush. And so I contacted Bill Clark at the county to inquire about this, saying, what's the deal? Why can't, if we were waiting, are we missing something? And this is what I got back from him, and I received this today. The CVCHS Board of Directors has submitted the charter renewal petition to the County Board of Education and has requested that the hearing and vote be completed before the December 10th County Board meeting. The County Board of Education must respond to the renewal as presented, and our staff has agreed to honor their request. Any concerns about this request should be directed to the CVCHS Administration Board. Additionally, our records indicate that the original charter was approved for a 3-year term commencing at the date of the fully executed Memorandum of Understanding, which was signed on February 28, 2012. We believe that the County Board of Education must take action on the renewal before February 28, 2015. The County Board of Education has received a new petition to establish a county-wide charter school, which must be heard and voted on by January 14, 2015. The board has only one regularly scheduled meeting in January, making it impossible to hear and vote on the CVCHS renewal before the February deadline should the renewal be delayed. So I don't know where we got the July 2015 thing. Apparently we were under that, according to the county. So I don't know how that slipped by. Also in my discussions with the county people, they were not overly happy that they are now put into a bind, because if they receive this thing on Friday, they are going to be expected to vote on it by Wednesday, and we weren't happy about getting it necessarily on Saturday and saying, can you make your comments by next Wednesday? We got more time. I know a couple of the county members said, God, I wish we could have more time to really look through this thing. So they were not too happy about that. In addition to that, they were not overly impressed with kind of the lack of good community discussion. I really like the open forum that we had on Wednesday. As a group, not necessarily as individual smaller groups come in and back and forth, but that was the only one of those that we had. And I really wish we would have had more time so that we could have been able to have a few more of those things.
Gentleman Brown.
I just want to thank Dave, the teachers, the board for the great job you guys have done for the last 2 years in educating our kids and turning school around. You guys have done an amazing job, and you'll continue to do so going forward. After what Kim just said, I guess we're going to go more than we thought. That this doesn't. It's important that you pass this tonight to move forward. In part of putting everything together, not everyone gets 100% of what they wanted. I think you guys started working together last meeting, which was great, and working together and trying to figure out may versus shall, and where you moved the certificated staff into the counselors and the psychologists into admin, so that the teachers, it would be a teacher's position that votes. So you guys did a great job with that. And changing it to may was only allowing that if a teacher decides to come on board and not join the union, that they could still run, but the teachers would still vote whether they want that person or not. So all you were trying to do is be inclusive, so I commend you for that. In regards to the class sizes, you address that in there, where if you reduce class sizes, you're going to increase teacher staff, you're going to reduce the total number of kids that can attend because we're limited to the space, and so there'll be additional costs that are associated. And so part of that, in dealing with the class sizes, has to do with the union contract, and that's why I believe in some of the discussions you guys have had where it belongs more in a different place. And so you should not bind yourselves in the charter petition to limit to reduce class sizes. Sure, I would like to see the class sizes be reduced, but we got to make sure it's fiscally responsible that we can do that. So I think you do that in the negotiating side. But again, thank you for the job that you guys are doing. Hopefully everyone will realize that there aren't any ulterior motives, that you guys are trying to do the best that you can, fantastic job. And I think that, the kids will continue getting tremendous education. And let's, start working together, move forward, and get this thing improved so we can have a charter for the next 5 years and many more after that. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe. Cameron King.
I want to thank the board and all the community members and teachers who participated in this process. I think you guys have done a great job trying to go through a document, make revisions, make it consistent with the changes that have taken place in our board meetings, different motions and approvals over the last few years. I think a month to go through the vetting process and the review process is pretty sufficient for what we need to do. I went through and looked at my notes from the community meeting that we had the other night. There were actually 11 people that spoke, including me, so it wasn't too overwhelming. But I just want to say that, as Joe noted, the board's voted on certain actions. They've made some decisions about the governance structure, about the may versus shall. I think the document that we have right now is a very inclusive yet flexible document that allows the school administration and the committees to make recommendations as needed to grow or adjust the school size as needed. The other thing that I wanted to say is, I'm also, as a community member, I'm familiar with governance. It's what my company does. I've got actually a document I can send to the board and everybody that talks about enterprise governance versus operational governance. And I think the changes that you guys are recommending to move the committees down to an operational level makes a lot of sense. We make similar recommendations to FedEx, to Staples, to other Fortune 500 companies, Department of Defense agencies, for example. And this is the same types of mentality that they have. They struggle keeping these committees at a senior level, executive level, at the very top of the company because they want to be involved in the fingers in every piece of the pie. You need to move it down to an operational level so that the board can do what the board needs to do, the focus on the how will versus how well conversation, and looking ahead and set a strategy and vision for the organization, and allow Mr. Lindsay to do the day-to-day administration and management that he needs to do. So I want to commend you again. I can stand behind the document as written. Plan to go on the 15th and the 1st of the 5th to the county and support the submission as well. And I look forward to us having another no less than 5 years ahead of us as a charter school. So thank you.